Okay, so this video is going to be kind of related to my social skills one. Hoping it's going to be a little bit shorter, but yeah, this one I'm going to talk about communication, because a lot of people think that autistic people can't talk, for one, and I obviously can talk, even though I couldn't for a large part of my younger childhood. But I still do have problems with communication. Sometimes I have more problems verbalizing my thoughts than other times. I'm really good at writing, so I prefer to write my thoughts, which is probably why I do so well in university. But with oral communication, I have a lot of trouble, and usually the people that I like to talk to the most are the ones that don't care when I might not sound the most intelligent, because I don't usually sound as intelligent as I like to think that I am. But some of the problems that come up communication with me, which is also probably why I have trouble with some of the social skills, like keeping friends that I actually like, and keeping jobs. For one, I take things very literally, and this is common with with a lot of autistic people. Some sayings that people say, like it's raining cats and dogs, I don't understand why people would say it's raining cats and dogs. I do know what it means because I've heard it my entire life. But sometimes I hear like new phrases like that, and I have absolutely no idea what they mean until somebody explains it to me. Sarcasm. I have a lot of trouble understanding sarcasm, and sometimes when somebody's being sarcastic with me, I think they're being serious, and it causes some problems. Sometimes I try to be sarcastic, and I'm actually not very good at it. Pretty much, I like blunt language. I don't want people to sugarcoat things. I notice a lot with neurotypical people that they say things a certain way because it's socially acceptable, I guess. And it's almost like sugarcoating things, or I don't really know how to explain it. But to me, I like being straightforward, and I like being blunt. And I think if a lot more people were straightforward, I wouldn't have so much trouble with literal issues and trying to figure out if you're meaning what you say or not. I also have trouble taking in directions sometimes. Verbally, I guess it's processing what you're saying. But if people, write it down or give me one direction at a time, I'm usually pretty good with that. So I do better with reading and writing than I do with talking and listening. And I don't always listen when people are talking to me, which is, I guess it seems kind of rude, but I don't. It almost sometimes seems like I have ADHD. It's a comorbidity with my autism, but I actually don't qualify as ADHD. I have sensory processing issues, which makes it difficult for me to focus, but I'll talk about that later. And I probably have auditory processing disorder as well. I seem to have the symptoms for that. So sometimes when people say something to me, I just don't process it very quickly or not at all, and I have to say what a lot. And also, there was another point to add to that, and I seem to have forgotten what it was. Basically, and this isn't meant to be rude or offensive, but I have a lot of trouble focusing on things that I'm not interested in. So when people talk about things that I'm not interested in, I'm not always listening to them. And that goes for like when I'm in class. And when I was doing my undergrad, I had to take classes that I wasn't exactly interested in. And I always had trouble listening in those classes. And friends, as much as I like them, I don't always listen to something that I think is boring. And I do see that kind of as a problem with communication, because I'm trying sometimes to force myself to listen, but my mind just won't let me. But basically, yeah, it's understanding like the nuances of language that causes a lot of problems with people with autism or autism spectrum disorder. And I really think that that's why most of my jobs haven't worked out, is because of communication problems. So if you, I'm not really sure what else to add to this video, but if you have any questions about verbal or nonverbal communication for autistic people, at least from my perception, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer. All right, bye.